I thought I'd give a quick review on what I just gave last night. I've been up since about 3:30 in the morning, and wanting to just try to give this. Okay, so just to go over, this is the situation. What you're seeing over here in this area is the situation of, and understand, I'm a person that's placed himself in the atmosphere or the existence of eternality. And my point of view is that eternality manifests what is temporal. And the temporal is only a seemingly absence of eternality. Eternality is always there because it's eternal. Eternality is always there, but it seemingly disappears. It doesn't disappear, it seemingly disappears. So everything that is in eternality will be seen from here all the way to here. Now, it's not done in a purpose way. You know, I didn't do it in a purpose way. Oh, this is the highest and this is the lowest. These directions also, they manifest in the temporal world. They're not of need in the eternal world. There's just no need for them. Okay? So now, from eternality, the entity, the living entity, any entity, even you can give, you can see living aspects within a atom, or within an electron, whatever, subatomic particles. They have some showing. It doesn't mean they don't have all. They just show different aspects of something living because it has independency. You can't really predict it because it has independency in the eternal world, and that independency is coming into this world. The independency in this world is not able to be shown so easily because there's so many coverings. Okay, so now the entity is entering. This is the symbol of the doctor. This is about six crosses, and there's 7 different energy levels. The 7 different energy levels are not the 7 different energy levels within the human body only. It's the 7 different energy levels depicting the universe. This is universal, the view. And my backbone is only a copy, a small copy of what is in the universe. So I'm only a copy of that. Now, it's represented here as 2 snakes, just like the symbol of the doctor is 2 snakes, and they're wound upon each other. This symbol has been found in India, carved centuries ago. So it's a symbol well known, but symbol of the material world, symbol how to work in the material world. So here they are, the snakes. The snakes, either you can say they swallow or they give the way down. Now remember, everything that is visible to us, detectable to us here, is already here. It just has not appeared. These are you could call it the binding spots, where each one is grosser than the one above. Each one is grosser than the one above. So, of course, the most gross element that you could think of is earth. The next up is water. The next, more subtle, you could say, is air, or fire, excuse me. I got to keep this in mind. I'm always making that mistake. It's water to fire. That's more. Then more subtle is air, and more subtle is ether. Now, these five are seen by us mostly, and they're combined. They're combined. It is found because ether, air is manifest. The highest, ether, air is manifest. And, excuse me, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. And either hearing or sound is manifest. Excuse me. I've heard this for years, and I'm making a mistake at this time. If I don't speak now, I won't be able to speak because everybody gets up, and then you have to do so many things. So here, ether, the subtle representation of the existence of ether is sound. You're detecting sound. The subtle representation of air. Okay, the subtle representation of air is your feeling. Okay? Now, the subtle representation of fire, of course, is sight. The subtle representation of water is be able to taste. Okay? And the subtle representation here of earth is to be able to smell. So these we're pretty aware of. But all these are also within the mind. This is the more subtle than ether is the mind. More subtle than the mind is the intelligence. Okay? And then either you're entering, again I tell you, you're either entering into these combinations and becoming involved in them, or you could say you become shackled in them. Okay? So, one after the other, the shackles become more and more and more. But here, just to make it a little bit more comprehensible, I've made this symbol right here. It's the same one. I made this symbol, but here, you can see also that this symbol is there. Think of it. This symbol is the symbol of conservation of energy in the material world. But the conservation of energy means that every place here has the same thing. Whether I am conserving in the grossest form of earth, or whether I am conserving it in the topmost, the intelligence, but it does not vanish. It may not be detectable. You may not be able to point it out to somebody, but it is here, and it has come from the eternal world. So the eternal world, anything you see at this point is already at this point, but in a less binding way. Here it's like stainless steel handcuffs, and perhaps up here is just the mind handcuffs or the intelligence handcuffs. So They're more subtle, but they're still there. But up here, in the eternal world, you don't have to be handcuffed. You don't have to be like tied. So these are the ties. And why are they the ties? Okay. Here in the middle, as the energy is flowing, the energy is increasing, but of course losing at the same time. So as it comes back here, it regains some energy, and again increases, diminishes, and again it's revitalated again, and this and this. So here, the same thing is happening. The same thing is happening. The only thing is that for the ability to go higher, the person has to be less dependent on what is grossly manifested here. But whatever is grossly manifested here is going to appear here in a more subtle way. So that you could say this is like the symbol of eternality, but only here in this situation of the temporal world, This process of diminishing and increasing and revitalizing, and like it's the manifesting, it's the maintaining, and it's the destruction, because everything destroys. And what is that destruction? They can't even explain it. There's a word called entropy. Let's see if I can put it up there. If I can spell it right. Yeah. Entropy is like energy they would like to never have known. Entropy is that energy which is for all purposes, any scientist, it will tell you that entropy, it's gone, it's lost. There's no ability to bring it back. Only if the energy passes through here does entropy able to come back, but not entirely. Yeah. Now, if this energy, entropy, it has escaped, it is out of here. It has escaped. What has happened is on the entrance into this temporal world, the mold, you could say, the mold is zero entropy. Entering into this material world is zero entropy. So, as you're in this material world, of course, the energy of entropy increases, and the ability to be able to, the energy is there, but it's in a different state, and you can't use it. So the only way, I'm not going to erase everything, but the only way is to erase all this and start over. Yeah, that's what happens. You have to. So, no matter what anybody says, you can sit back and laugh and laugh. This is not going to last. This will have to disappear. And what happens is this is all wound up coiled up, coiled up like a snake, coiled up like a snake, and just here. Everything else disappears. Earth has to disappear. Water has to disappear. Fire has to disappear. Hey, I said it right. Fire right there. Then air has to disappear. Then ether has to disappear. And the last two disappear. The intelligence, the mind and the intelligence, they have to disappear. They have to. Because they have to be reprogrammed. The only way to reprogram is to take the perfection of the eternal world and again manifest it through that and come out with all this. That's the only way. This symbol of conservation of energy, it's there. The energy didn't it's not in a state of non-existence. It's in existence, but it's in another state, not able to be even used for anything. Entropy is not able to be used for anything. But the signs of eternality are avoided to be seen. But the signs of eternality, everything that is here, is up. And the combinations, they seem like they're different. In Earth, the function of the body is mostly to smell. Okay? And then all the way 5 elements up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements up. In ether, the function is to be able to hear. But it is known that to be able to smell, your brain has to hear the frequency. Yes, your brain hears a frequency that's related to the smell. Right there, all 5 are combined. You don't have to start taking everything apart. All 5 are always there. To be able to taste, to be able to smell, to be able to see, they're all there in each one of them. They're not absent at all. It's just that they're not prominent, so we call them, we separate them. We separate them. Not that they're separated, but we separated them. At this point, all of them are here. All the senses that you have here are up here also. Again, pointing out eternality. You can find it in everything. You can find its existence in everything. Okay? So I just wanted to give this. These are thoughts that you could have. How did we enter the material world? How did we become bound by the material world so much? How we can also become unbound by the material world? And how we become conscious of something. If you become conscious of something, you understand how to do things. Okay, somebody tells me, here, oh, you want to smell? Well, I'll tell you one thing. I never made an effort to smell in my life until I found this out. So the ability to smell better be used. Just like if you have a wreck or something like that and you put your foot in a cast and that cast is on for about a month or two, you won't be able to walk. You lose the ability to walk. So the ability to smell has to be used. You see the dog smelling, you see the monkey smelling, you see the cow smelling. All the animals are smelling. So the ability to smell, and actually, when you use the ability to smell, then food becomes even better. It becomes complete. Isn't that it wasn't complete? It becomes better, and also the stomach works better because very good smell. So what is happening if you don't use the ability to smell? Like smell it, go ahead and smell it. Put it in there. That passage, the air passage, these are all scientifically proven. The air passage starts to disappear. Your pretty fancy nose can actually disappear within time. If you don't make an effort to hear, then also your ears disappear. Your ability to catch the sound, the directional sound. So all these abilities, they must be used by us. And then they become stronger in their rightful position. So this is just to point out how eternality is always there. Even though all this has to disappear because of entropy and reproduce itself. So nobody could tell me that this binding force and everything is eternal. There is no way you can tell me that this is eternal. But eternality exists after here. So one's vision starts to be turned, okay, if I see something here, it's only a bad representative. If I see something anywhere in here, it's only a bad representative of what's here. What is here? To directions. The directional, the north, south, west, and the east. All this is coming in here. There's no necessity in the eternal world. Direction is no necessity. And direction is coming from hearing. From hearing. It's obvious. You put your ear towards the direction that the sound is coming from, so you'll be able to understand what is coming. It's direction. In the eternal world, there's no necessity of it. Here there is necessity of it. So it's poorly represented. So you can study yourself, study all the nature and everything, and you can see if you're somewhat attracted or somewhat wanting to know, then you know that this exists here in what they call a shadow. A shadow representation of what is beyond here. Only a shadow representation. Anything that would attract you here within this is only a shadow representation of what is in eternality. Now, this is not just a dream world or something like that. But if you want to stay here, you will always be haunted by entropy. It must destroy this. This must be destroyed, reshuffled, and remade. It's the only way. Don't think that things are advancing. That's not what is happening here is not advancement at all. What is happening in this situation is binding. It's not advancing, it's binding more and more. And the more and more that entropy increases, the more and more is the necessity of destruction. It's just the melting down again, okay? Let's just melt it down again and make the mold over again and make it at its perfected stage. You know, the the person is looking for, oh, I don't want to die. Oh, I don't want to die. Yeah, that's everybody's looking for, and everybody's promising. But sorry to say it, within this realm, whether it's all the way up in the level of intelligence or in the level of mind, it has to be reshuffled,